So the main man, Bernie Sanders, he went on The View and he got into a heated exchange with Whoopi Goldberg. She was spewing out the usual mainstream media propaganda. See how my man Bernie
I
responds.
have to ask you this question now because I've been watching to see what you were going to do. And I'm told that you intend to stay in this race for president because you believe there is a path to victory. I want to know what that path is because this feels a little bit like it did when you didn't come out when Hillary Clinton was clearly the person folks were going for. So can you explain why you're still in the race and what this path is that you see?
Well, one of the reasons, that's not quite accurate. I worked as hard as I could to for Hillary Clinton. But the reason there is a path
Bernie,
victory.
just so we're clear, you worked for Hillary, but it took you a very, very long time to hop in, and your people also. It took a very long time for them to hop in. So when I say that, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, I don't accept that characterization, but the point is, people have a right.
Why are you still in the race?
People have a right. Last I heard, people in a democracy have a right to vote, and they have a right to vote for the agenda that they think can work for America, especially in this very, very difficult moment. We are assessing our campaign, as a matter of fact, where we want to go forward. But people in a democracy do have a right to vote. And right now, in this unprecedented moment in American history, I think we need to have a very serious discussion about how we go forward. And one of the things that I am working on with other members of the Senate and Congress is a new stimulus package, which not only makes sure that all of our people in this crisis have health care, but also that they continue to receive their paycheck. We have got to understand where we are at. And right now is April 1st. It is likely possible there are millions of people who cannot pay their rent, cannot pay their mortgage.
Yes. But wouldn't it be smarter for you to continue on that path to make sure that gets done?
Well, we are doing it.
Believe me, I am doing it.
I'm sitting in my house right now. I'm not holding a rally in Wisconsin because of the nature of campaigns. But right now, what I am primarily focusing on with other members of the Congress is a new what we call a coronavirus 4 stimulus package, which will guarantee that every worker in America continues to receive his or her paycheck, that states and cities get the kind of revenue they need to maintain their payroll and take care of the work that they have got to do. What I am very worried about is that people cannot afford.
You know, it's moments like these that show why Bernie is so loved and respected and is the most popular politician in the United States Congress and in the United States Senate. Because when he has thrown the BS, right, Whoopi was trying to make a headline. She was trying to get the sensational crap out there. You know, trying to play the little back and forth gamesmanship. Just the spectacle of politics. That's her job. To continue the spectacle. To not talk about real issues. To not talk about the nitty gritty and the details and the fine print and the truth. But to keep it all superficial and sensational and BS, right? Never get into the details. That's her job. So Bernie takes it, right? This BS about, well, Bernie, why in 2016 you didn't support Hillary? It took you so long to drop out. Why are you still in the race, Bernie? Why are you still in the race, Bernie? Why are you still in the race, Bernie? You know, and he takes that and he says, well, actually, I campaigned very hard for Hillary. But let's go back to the reality, which is that people are dying, which is that we're facing an unprecedented economic crisis and an unprecedented pandemic. We must focus on the real issues facing the American people. They need their wages protected. That we need a moratorium on rent, evictions, and foreclosures and utility bills. We need to make sure that people are protected as the economy goes on a literal pause. He goes right back to the policy. He neglects the BS. He neglects the sensationalism. He refuses it. And instead he says, no, we're going to focus on policy. And, you know, it's honorable. And it's almost too honorable. Because sometimes you do have to strike back. sometimes you do have to play the game a little bit so that your narrative gets out there, so that people know the truth, or at least have access to the truth. You know, when they were talking about how, kind of in a similar way, you know, Whoopi and her crowd were talking about how, oh well, you know, Joe Biden, he's electable. He's the one who can beat Trump. You know, they're trying to protect the little narrow-minded framework that most voters get, which is that the Republicans are on the right, Democrats are on the left. How you win is finding a happy little kumbaya moment medium. That's not how politics actually works, right? And sometimes you do have to combat that and say, well, actually, progressive policy is overwhelmingly popular. Actually, we are wonderful with young people and Latinos. We are the campaign that can bring energy and excitement and bring out voters and beat Donald Trump. Joe Biden is incapable, right? Sometimes you do have to play that game. But on times like this, it is refreshing. It is lovely to see someone be authentic and be truthful and just tell it to me how it is. Speak to my issues. Speak to my community's issues and tell me what you're going to do to fix it. And that's what makes Bernie such a special politician. You know, there's been a lot of flack recently dedicated towards Bernie. Just throwing his way, all this crap, coming from a lot of progressives. I think they're salty that he fell short, and they're pointing fingers. I heard a lot of criticism talking about how Bernie, you know, wasn't strong enough, how he wasn't reacting to criticism in a productive way. You know, he would have called Joe Biden his friend. You know, how he would kind of refuse to hit below the belt, or at least in Bernie's eyes, below the belt. To us, it might be valid criticism. And I think some of that is true. I really do. But interviews like this show what Bernie represents, and I think it's commendable in a lot of aspects. When you are thrown into the political fire, right, and they're throwing out the crap, people like Whoopi Goldberg are throwing out the crap, throwing out the BS, throwing out the sensationalism, and trying to get you to mudsling and not focus on policy. Bernie refuses and always just sticks to the policy. He refused to call Joe Biden corrupt. He refused to call out Joe Biden on the wide variety of crap and a terrible record that he has, whether it be on foreign policy, whether it be on economic populism, etc. Bernie refused to do that and instead just focused on the policy and the policy differences. That's commendable, but it's also something that progressives, particularly the next, whoever the insurgent progressive campaign is in 2024 and moving forward, they are going to have to play that game a little bit more. In terms of combating the narratives. Whenever Whoopi Goldberg throws out a narrative like that he isn't electable, or that he's the reason Hillary lost, why are you still in the race, blah, 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 you do have to combat that to some degree. But at the same time, it is why we love him. He sticks to the policy, he sticks to the truth. So, Bernie Sanders, man, what a guy.
Yeah, we riding.